Okay, for this video, we are still on 2. So you would just turn your page, and you're still going to write a 2 up here for decimal place value. We're going to continue. So we are still on topic number 2. In this video, we are going to compare, order, and understand equivalence of decimals. Okay, so for this one, there's a little glare. That should help a little bit. Alright, I'm going to show you how 7, this is in the tenths place, 7/10 is equivalent to 70 hundredths. This is in the hundredths place. Oops, HUNDREDTHS. Do not forget your THS is what tells you you are in decimal place value. Now, if I'm looking at tenths, I know I'm talking about the sticks when we're talking about base 10 blocks. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, my finger was perfect. So that means this whole stick is 1. And I'm going to shade in 7 of them. 2. It's the second stick. So 1 stick, 2. 3. 3 sticks. 4. 5. 6. 7. 7. And remember, with notation, we realized that this was, we're doing another color. This is equal to 7 times 1 out of 10. So this is saying we still had 3 more to make this a full tenth, if that makes sense. So I only have 7 tenths. I don't have 10 tenths. Which would give me a whole. Because 10 out of 10 is 1 whole. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 10 times 1 is 10. So I have 7 out of the 10. Okay. With hundredths, remember that's individual. That is the decimal grid. That's the grid that looks like you have ones and you count all the way to 100. So let me get, I'm going to go from this end so I make sure I have room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let me draw it out. Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on over. Got that? And you're shading in 70. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20, 30. All the way down here is 30. 40. 50. 60, 70. And if you look, I have 30 individual over here that are not shaded, and I have 30 over here that are not shaded. So these are equivalent. Same thing. If I were to write this in expanded notation, or in notation, this is 7 times 1 out of 100. It's a little crooked. 100. 7 times 1 out of 100. 1/100th. So in a place value chart, let me show you how that looks. If I have ones, tens, hundreds, my decimal, tenths, I'm going to abbreviate it, TTHS, hundredths, HTHS, notice I keep my THS, and then you have thousands, TTTHS. Or, if you want, sometimes you can have, for this one, if it makes sense, if you go by the T's, it's up to you, I'm just showing you options. THS, so I know I'm in the tenths, hundredths, and then TTHS. Or you can spell it out, it's up to you. So if I'm plugging these numbers in, I'll use red since I used red over there. 7 tenths and 7 hundredths. Remember, we know that is 0 doesn't give us any value. If you have $0, you don't have any dollars. So I can take the 0 off. And you can see they're equal. Or I can leave my 0, give 7 tenths an invisible 0, and we're still equal. So in your journal, I want you to give me 2 sets on your own. 2 sets of equivalent fractions. I mean decimals. Look, I said fractions because they're cousins. For a bonus, and you will go in the treasure box, if you can give me the expanded notation form of your decimals, you go into the treasure box. I'm going to shift this over a little bit so we have more room. Now we're going to compare. This is comparing decimals. Whoa. There you go. Hundreds, tens, ones, decimal, tenths, hundredths, thousands. I always do that. Five and 733 thousandths. 5 and 693 thousandths. Remember, to the left is your whole. To the right are your THS's, which are your decimals. And for the decimal, I read and say and. Now, just like with whole number place value, you can look at each individual place value and compare. I have a 5 in both, so I can't compare there. Keep my decimal. Right here is our first change. I have a 7 and a 6. Who's the greater number? 7. So that tells me 5 and 733 thousandths is greater than 5 and 693 thousandths. Notice I didn't start here and go this way. You start with your greatest and then get smaller. Start on the left, the whole numbers, work your way to the decimals. Ordering decimals. Oh, I didn't do it in that. 187, 304 thousandths, 887, and 43. Alright, on this one I really wanted you to think. So if you can see, each one has the same digits, just in a different place value. We are going to order, so you can see. I have to look at it to make sure it's even. We're going to go greatest to least. So that's big to small. Same thing. 888. Here we have a difference. I see a 7, and then I see 8s. Right away, I know who my smallest is. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put third. This is the last number you will write down. Here's blank. So I already technically don't need to look up here anymore. This is why a place value chart is your best friend. So I'm left with these two. 8 in the hundreds, 8 in the tens, 7 in the ones. Still the same. Decimal. I have a 3 here, and I have a 0 here. Who's smaller? If we're going from greatest to least, we can actually look at who's greater. It's up to you. You want to keep going in descending order since we already have third place. I know my first place is going to be that 3 right there. That leaves my 0 in second place. To check yourself, I'm just going to draw a squiggly. You can extend your place value chart. I don't need to extend it that much. And rewrite them. First place we said was 887 and 304 thousandths. Second place, 887 and 43 thousandths. You can already hear it when you say it. I went from 300 to only 43. Sounds about right. Last one, 878 and 403 thousandths. Greatest, which is the biggest. So again, biggest, big to small. $887 and 304 thousandths. Sounds like a lot of money. I dropped from that amount to 887 and 43 thousandths. And the last number I have is 878 and 403. Again, look why you start to the left and work your way to the right. Because if I look just right here, my brain sees 403 as the greatest. But what was the problem with that? Its whole number place value is smaller than 887. So be very careful with that. Alright, so for your turn, what I want you to do. You're going to create. So I want you to create 2 sets of numbers. Well, let's make sure we say decimal. Decimal numbers. And I want you to concentrate on the forms. So I want you to write them in standard, word, and the 2 expanded. The expanded notation and the expanded form. And I'll give you a hint with the difference. This one is like the whole number. So if you need to refer back, you all have notebooks that should have that. So you're going to create 2 sets of numbers. And I want you to write the standard, the word, and the 2 expanded, both notation and form of how you would show me those numbers. And be prepared to discuss with each other in class tomorrow. Good night.